welcome. We're going to walk around today and see some of the woodworkers, the various projects that they've been on, and that we'll also learn about some woodworking skills because we have some demonstrations. One of the purposes of the club, which was formed in 2008, is to make toys that they give away at Christmas time to underprivileged kids. Behind me are examples about 40 different kinds of toys that they make. They do this kind of factory style every other Saturday, twice a month. So guys of various skills come and help. Sometimes they work on the one stage of the project at home too. But they've been very generous. Since 2008, they've made 35,000 toys, which they've given away to these children in various towns in the Black Hills and a few like Sioux Falls and the reservations. We're going to start out today with a table that's in memory of Danny Green. He died last year as a result of complications of COVID. When he moved to the Black Hills, he became interested in woodworking but didn't know very much about it. And the example of all the various things that he made show what progress he made in wood turning and the creativity that he had. He would find an interesting piece of wood and think, I ought to make something good out of that, which he did. So we'll miss Danny tremendously, but we're glad to have this table as an exhibit.
My name is Bob Buchanan. I'm the president of the Rapid City Woodworkers group here. We've got our 14th show. We started this show in 2008. What we get to do is show people some of the things that we do during the year when we're not making toys. The rest of the year we make toys, and then this weekend we get to show off some of our projects that we work on the weekends. Stuff I've got here for display, I've got a marble game. Our theme for the day is puzzles and games. This is one of the games, and then the reason we decided to have a wood show is to let people know that there's a group in town that does this kind of thing, and there's a lot of training that can happen when we meet together and trade techniques with each other. And so this is kind of the reason that we try to have a wood show every year and tell people what we're doing.
Jerry Hood, been with the woodworkers here for 6 years. I like to do the stuff on the scroll saw, smaller items, especially the 3D items where there's one view from one side and then you turn it and it's a different view. For me, that gives me a lot of accomplishment of doing something like this.
I'm Grant Coffin. I'm one of the old-time members of this club. And while I was digging up stuff to bring down here, I found this thing, which I remember that I cut out with a coping saw about 75 years ago. I was going to make a bookend, 2 elephants back to back. That was the end of an apple box. Always being a comedian, this is a wooden flower planted in a wooden bowl in a wooden grove. This is a hot rod duck, and this is his partner who flaps his wings. I don't go and buy specific pieces of wood to do a project. I kind of take whatever piece of wood I have and see what's inside of it. This is the latest thing. The club was given a bunch of this bamboo cutoffs from something. I don't know what the people were making out of it before we got it, but anyhow, my wife had this thing sitting on the dining room table. I said, what is it? She said, that's a candle that gives off a nice odor when you burn it. I said, I don't care much for that, but I've got a piece of this and a piece of this and a little chunk of hickory. And if you put them all together, you wind up with a candle holder. That's the kind of stuff that I do. It's just for fun. When you get done, you feel like you've made something. When I have time and when the shop isn't too cold and I'm not busy gardening or working with the old car club, I make a little trinkets. And I've really enjoyed the really good people that are in the woodworking club. I'd encourage anybody that has interest in woodworking to come to a meeting, come join the club. I think we've probably got 3 new members this morning. It's just really good folks that aren't out for a profit, trying to be good neighbors.
My name is Corey Weisbeck, and I have been part of the club for a while now. My dad got me into it. My mom and my dad both do scroll saw and woodworking. It's a really great hobby to be a part of because it's totally different from most of the rest of the things that I do every single day. So it's nice to get done with a hard day of work and then I can go work in a wood shop and just enjoy the comfort of a saw going through wood. And at the end of it, I have something to look at, something to hang on the wall, something useful, something to use, a toy, a puzzle, anything. So it's a really great hobby to participate in.
I'm Stuart Kellogg. There are a couple of things I really enjoy doing, like this one here has epoxy with in plumwood, and I enjoy the medium of dealing with wood and epoxy together because you can make some really beautiful things. I've also been involved lately with inlays. This is called a Celtic ring. You start off inlaying wood into your blank stock, and then when you turn it, you get the nice ring shapes on it. It's really pretty. I really enjoy that. I've done some tops with Celtic rings. This is rosewood with canary wood inlay. This one is called a spalted tamarind bowl, but it has an outside, it's quartzite crystals. And you just put the crystals in there, crush them up fine, drop them in there, put in some glue, then sand it just like you would the wood, and it turns out to be kind of a pretty thing. This is a nice group. They're very friendly. They like to give back to the community. They make somewhere around 2,500 toys for kids every year, and I think that's partly what I enjoy about the group. That, and they're just very nice, and they're all very helpful when I have questions about finishing and things like that. So it's a lot of fun.
I'm Jeff Albrecht, member of the Rapid City Woodworkers Association. Turning the wood is a great hobby. You're just basically enhancing Mother Nature. What you find under a chunk of bark is always interesting. Piece of pine that I grew in my yard, and then the tree died, so I had to make use of it again. This is a piece of myrtle wood that I purchased out in Seattle. Great hobby. Something new is totem poles. A bunch of small turnings stacked together. A Y out of tree bark or out of a tree. Turn it into a three-lobed bowl.
My name is Rick Weisbeck. I'm the vice president of the club, and I've been a member of the club since 2008 when it started. I've been interested in woodworking, and as years go by, we get different tools and we do different things. So right now, most of what we do is scroll saw work. Some of the items that we have here are examples of that. This has a pattern on it that goes on two sides of it. And what it is I cut out the windows first, and then I cut out this side of it, tape it back together, turn it 90 degrees, cut the other side, and when it's all done, inside of the block is a lighthouse. And you don't get to see the finished product until you're all done because it's always the inside of the block. Most of the time it works out pretty well. One time I had a piece that had a flaw inside the box that you couldn't tell, and when I pulled it out, it was in 3 pieces. But this is a lot of the different things we do is a 3D cut or a compound cut, and it gives you all these different figures.
Hi, I'm Patsy Hood from Nemo, and my husband is a member of the Rapid City Woodworkers. And I come along and kind of observe and watch all these guys put these wonderful toys together. This is what we did this year. Our theme is puzzles and games. And so this is a car that the kids can come in and they can color, and this will come apart, and it makes a puzzle for them. So they can come in and color it, and then when they're done coloring it, we will put the wheels on it, like this one, where the wheels have already been put on. And then the kids can take it over to a racetrack and race with their friends right on down the way. We also have little love bugs that we give, and a lot of the members carry these with them. And so if they see a little child that's having kind of a bad day in the restaurant or whatever, they can give them one of these. And it's all a courtesy, a free gift of the Rapid City Woodworkers Association.
My name is Jim Burke, and this is my display for the show this year. Some of it is cut out by scroll saw, and then I've got a laser now, and I cut out and engrave with the laser. And you can see some of the work that I have here. Anything from little boxes, and then I've been playing with etching glass and painting or staining it on the backside. Been in the Woodworkers Club for I think going on 3 years now. A lot of experience there. If you want to learn anything about woodworking, it's a good club to join. We have people that are already good on scroll saw, but they want to learn how to turn on the lathe, or vice versa, and so we get a lot of people that do that.
Hi, my name's Ed Pike, and just bringing the kids over to the toy store, and they just love making the toys and coloring the toys. This is Winter. She made some toys, likes to color. Then we got Olive. We did a lot of car races, played Jenga, played with all the toys. It was a lot of fun.
Lon Ghost from the Woodworkers Club, and this is my hobby, collecting old wrenches. And besides wrenches, I like to buy things that I really don't know what it is. And so I brought up a sample up here today. Show you a sample here is one of the first automatic nailers. You open it up, put your nails in here, you shake it. They feed down through the chamber here. You hold it down, and then you take a hammer and hit it on top of here and nail it without hitting your fingers. Another thing I got here, I didn't know what it was when I bought it, but it's called a lap anvil. It's an anvil you hold between your legs, and the cobblers, you can use it or whatever you want to use it for an anvil if you want to use it while sitting down. When the cobblers used to make shoes, individual shoes for individual people, it never quite fit, so this is what they call a bunion stretcher. This is a soldering tool. It comes to a point for real small, if you wanted to solder something real small, you could just put solder on there and it'd roll off the end, and you could solder it for what you needed. Started out with about 40 or 50 that my dad had. I inherited from him, and I probably got around 1,000, 1,500 different tools, hand wrenches and tools now. This is just a sample of what I have.